Merhaba. My name is Lika, and this video is from Sakartvelo Insight. Today, I'll mainly discuss the real estate market in Georgia, the most popular downtown areas, and I'll wrap it up by describing how to rent or even buy houses or apartments here, mainly in Tbilisi, but it could apply to the whole country. And I'll mention a little bit about tips and tricks to avoid inconveniences beforehand. So this video is part of the series, therefore we'll continue to upload further explanatory videos to assist you in navigating and boarding the Georgian environment. So do not forget to follow us here and other social media channels as well, which will be linked here in the description. So please leave any particular real estate related queries in the comment area if you have so, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So let's get down to the business. We have to analyze what happened. We have now Tbilisi after COVID, and we must consider significant events that changed Tbilisi, Georgia, and whole world as we examine the situation. Later 2 years of COVID pandemic, everything was crashed, including transportation, tourism sector, no longer open borders. Consequently, real estate logically became much more cost-effective, right? And Georgia has become a popular choice for nomads and expats during this COVID era, but the real estate costs were still quite affordable. Fortunately, things have started to open up again, which allows for greater human mobility, so we no longer live in the times where globe was closed. Thus, if there was more supply and less demand throughout the COVID, there's demand and less supply. This explains why it is more difficult and quite expensive to obtain apartment in Georgia. However, the excellent news about Tbilisi is that you'll always have alternatives for finding apartment that suits your needs and preferences. If you just Google it, you will find all price ranges for apartments here in Georgia, maybe even Manhattan prices like $1,500 apartments. Also, you can find like 200 rentals in the city. So let's assume you've just moved to the city and you are not sure of the neighborhood or how to stay, where to stay, and where to actually hunt for the apartment. So firstly, I would suggest for renting hotel room or maybe Airbnb for just few nights while you look for a home. So there's several ways to find home here. While exploring the city, you might see the signs or banners hanging from the buildings, and generally it will announce if the property is for sale or for rent. These signs or banners usually have the owner's phone number, so you can contact them and make a deal directly. And you're also able to find real estate on internet. There are several websites where you can find it. They have the same kind of format and work in the same way. So one of the biggest real estate portals called ss.g. So the website is easy to work on. Firstly, you can choose the real estate type, whether it's apartment, rent, or commercial real estate, or maybe you can also choose, is it maybe for sale, for rent, and etc. Once all of the filters are set, you can just scroll it down and choose your favorite option. Additionally, Facebook groups are an excellent place to look for rentals. Facebook is quite popular in Georgia, so you can find any sort of group in Facebook. So what are the tips to take into consideration? Firstly, rental agreements is standard practice in Georgia, but if the landlord neglects to mention it, be sure to ask for one. This will ensure that the agreement terms are honored and will protect you from disagreements in the future. Typically, contracts last for 6 months or a year. Mostly, you must pay for a deposit for 2 months in advance. Secondly, don't trust the picture you see on the internet. Never make a deal without actually checking the building. Even though the apartments might look the same, it could be a location where it's hard to reach either by car or foot. And please choose your location very carefully. Sometimes it is better to find place in the residential districts, not actually in the touristic centers. Mostly Sakartvelo is widespread destination for expats. However, this district is big and very diverse, so do not make assumptions by just looking at the name of the districts. And always keep up with the news. People tell their stories and they share their experience who are the reliable agents, for instance, and who you should try to avoid connecting. And lastly, pay rent on time and have a good time in Georgia. We'll have a series of podcasts where experts in real estate market will analyze the situation. So there you can grasp a broader approach to this issue. I hope this video will help you to onboard Georgia quickly.